My name is Dan Smith, and we're at the Woodlands, Texas, and we just played in a venue down the plaza there at a place called the Shadow Play Lounge. Maybe it's just Shadow Play. It's not much of a lounge, but it's a nice lounge. Yeah. And yeah, it's just a nice Tuesday evening right before a rave, and we just played a rock and roll show.
And you said you guys have been touring for, well, you said this is almost your 8th year of touring,
well,
right?
This is my first tour was out to Cornerstone Music Festival in Illinois 8 years ago, and so kind of every time a Cornerstone rolls around, or kind of a 1st of July, that's sort of right around that weekend or so is my anniversary of touring. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, I've been touring for 8 years.
Is that under the name Listener, or like when you were doing the talk music style? Is that when you're counting that?
Just ever since I started actually going out on tours, not just playing shows like locally. My first tours were out with a band called Marzil, and opened up for them for about a year and a half. I moved out to Atlanta, Georgia, and opened up for them, and we toured all over the States, and I think it was just the States. Yeah. Mm-hmm. For about a year and a half with them, and then I put out a solo album and started touring on that, and put out another solo album, and then did a tour homes, and then I've been playing ever since.
Yeah. One thing I was going to ask, because you do tour so much and you're still involved with like Deep Space Five and other guys, how do you kind of keep connected with them being out and not in one place so often?
Yeah. Well, Deep Space Five is a project that I think for all of us is a very, very side project. If you just kind of look at the percentage of time that we all have to put on that project, for instance, like I might tour 9 or 10 months of the year. I might make a Deep Space Five album, once every 2 or 3 years. I love all those guys, and we have a great time making records together. But it's just sort of a record-making project that we do every few years. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times, whenever we're in different cities, we'll get together, might play a show together, or might just hang out and stay at someone's house. So, yeah. It's just one of those things. Like Deep Space Five is, a project that definitely, we made some records, and it was kind of on some record labels and whatnot. But it's nothing that I've been able to tour on. Mm-hmm. Listener is something that's always been something that we've done that we've actually been able to tour on, but we haven't had any record label success. But Deep Space Five is something we've had record label success, and so a lot of people know about it, but we've never really played shows on it.
Yeah.
It's this strange, world, and sometimes it works that way.
Yeah. I was also going to ask too, in given touring and traveling and stuff, how do you stay connected to God and maintain your faith kind of when you're on the road and maybe don't have a church home that can kind of support you and that sort of thing?
Well, I'm moving to Atlanta. Definitely don't have a church home. I mean, I did in Arkansas. There's something about touring that I guess because we've done it so much and it's just life. I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, coming from maybe not touring and maybe working a job and kind of being around and having a church to go to, it's I don't know, it's just a different reality in life. I mean, I don't look at touring as something that I do and kind of hold off on life until I can get home and then kind of live life, or then I can grow as a person. We just do it all the time, because we stay on the road a lot. But we do go to church sometimes, but not. I'm not of the type of mind and heart or belief that being a Christian or person of faith is all about just attending somewhere. Attending a church is about responsibility and community and growth and love, and that's a wonderful thing. And it's a mixing of I think someone's testing their lawnmower at midnight here to make sure it works. It's a mixing of people who are in families and work jobs, and people who are down on their luck, and people who are leaders and not leaders, and people who are just all kinds of people. And we get that. I mean, we get that from time to time out on the road. It's not always. There's a lot of us time, and we're on the mic, but Chris and I, we get that together. We have accountability, with each other. We have sometimes, and then we also mix it up with other people that we tour with sometimes, and have that kind of community. Because to me, faith is something very personal to me. I don't know exactly most times how to just talk about faith, but I definitely understand the need for community and different people and different people's viewpoints, and different life types, and to come together and just live life together and kind of learn together. So it's not always just like this is what I think, or it's many, it's all kind of different viewpoints. So I do sometimes think about the ability to be able to have like a community sometimes, but this is our community, and now and other, not now, I mean now and not now, but
Yeah. Well, how have you seen or felt God being on the road? You've got a whole different, unique experience than a lot of other people because you've toured so much, and on a very different level than like a superstar kind of tour bus atmosphere. I know you guys kind of sometimes stay in people's homes and that sort of thing. How's that made you impacted how you see God moving? And
it's a real spice of life. It's a real spice of life, a spice of a type of life. Because we stay, depending on the city, the promoter, the night, we'll stay anywhere from like nice hotels, and we've stayed in mansions to, on the floor at someone's house, and varying degrees of hospitality, and faiths, and people types, and houses, and varying degrees of cleanliness, and that is all fine. And basically, it's been a learning process to accept someone's hospitality, whether they're sort of not really showing any hospitality, or if they have hospitality that's great and grandiose, and trying to find the balance in that, and just accept it. And it's hard. It is a bit hard to do day after day after day. Accept hospitality. Like, you brought some nuts and beef jerky and sweet tea and stuff to give to us, which is awesome. And but sometimes it's hard to just accept certain things, or to accept that a show has been organized, or to I don't know. It's all a blessing. It's all like a filling of my heart, that I don't take lightly on any level. Like, if we're staying at someone's house that just has the bunch of carpet ripped up and it's just a mess, and there's cats everywhere or something, and someone is genuinely like, dude, we want you to stay here, and we're this is what we have. Well, that's what they have, and we're fine with that. And we're not of, Chris and I have talked about this so many times, we're not of the type of people and the type of mind to go into someone's house and be like, or even talk about it later. Awesome, someone opened up their home, great. If someone is down to throw a show and is and just doesn't I don't know, when we show up after driving 6 hours, be like, whatever. If at least they're like, man, we're really stoked that you're here, we tried our hardest, or if it's awesome, or what, I don't know. It's just this kind of constant, trying to do away with self, and try and accept the blessing or tragedy or whatever God has given to us for that day, that hour, that time, and accept that, and just take that and find some sort of peace in it and joy in it if you can, or find a lesson to be learned, or a life lesson. And I don't know, we get to do that every day, and there's tragedy, and there's not tragedy in the sense of in some people's tragedy, but there is definitely trying times, like van stuff, or money, or where we're gonna stay, or I don't know. There's all these kind of tour things. I don't know, but it's all just in that learning experience of, we might be here we are here today, and tonight we're staying with family, and I have a bed, and Chris has a bed, and we had a clean place to play with a nice sound system, and it was a last minute show, and we had friends to play with, which was awesome. And we might go to San Antonio and have like as many people as there were at the rave, and the promoter just might kill it, and we're staying in a hotel, and it's just a different it's a different treatment than in Austin. It might be like we hit the stage at midnight, it's super late, and it's like this strange show, and then the next day we're in Dallas, we're playing a house show, and it's going to be like a potluck dinner thing, and it's going to be hanging out and stuff. So every day it's like this whole different reality, that you have to just take and accept, and I don't know, just try and grow in it and accept it, and and I hope one day when whatever I do in life, that I can take what I've learned, by just accepting, and not accepting like being walked on, but if I'm working a job and there's just things that are not working, or in life, or family, or what have you, it's just to kind of have some discernment to learn what's going on and the lessons and the things that are happening. Just take it and accept it as a blessing.